Be boring, brother, be boring. As there are very few games coming out, and even less of them are worth playing, I decided to review one of the good old games, Gothic 2. The game came out in 2002, so it's been quite a while since the game is out. However, I believe it still stands up to today's standards. The only things that are old about this game are the graphics, shitty controls, and awful interface. The game is very much like the Elder Scrolls series, and I think that all of the fans who wouldn't give a damn for the graphics will love this game. Perhaps many of you have played the latest part of this game, Gothic 4, but I guarantee you that that piece of shit of a game doesn't stand anywhere near Gothic 2. There's always been a shortage of such great RPG games, but in the last few years there were less and less games of this type, and in my opinion, the only one worth playing is Skyrim. Gothic 2 should be compared with Morrowind, the third game in the Elder Scrolls series, as Morrowind and Gothic both came out in 2002. Gothic 2 starts without any tutorial, which is good from one point of view because going through tutorials in games couldn't get any more boring, especially as everything is quite simple to understand in this game. As mentioned before, the interface here is a total piece of shit. Everything is piled up together and you have to sort it out. By the way, the game does not have a weight limit on things you can carry. Perhaps it's stupid, but I think it's impossible to play such games with a weight limit. Those who dislike the interface of Skyrim just haven't seen the horrible interface of Gothic 2. However, I don't even understand what's wrong about Skyrim's interface. Everything seems to be straightforward. Gothic's combat system is pretty old school, as the melee combat only has a couple of moves that you'll learn as you progress throughout the game. However, there is no worse combat system than of Morrowind. Everything there is simple. Your chances on hit are randomized, so you swing your sword and you have about 1 in 5 chance to hit the enemy, so you can keep spamming attack on the mob and you won't hit him unless you roll a hit. And if you actually miss the enemy while you swing, then you miss for sure and you have to start over. The game has 3 standard classes, Warrior, Archer, and Mage. Archer is able to buy arrows, the Mage is forced to buy new spells and restore mana. Pretty standardized process. The game world is pretty huge and is split into 4 locations. The main world, the Valley of Mines, the world from the official add-on Night of the Raven, and the final endgame location. Because there are so few locations, there are almost no loading screens. The locations are quite big and it's not often you have to switch between them. Here the whole location is loaded at once, so as you enter a house you simply enter it. There's no loading screens, there are no changes. This you cannot say about the Elder Scrolls series, as every tiny location is like a separate universe in the game. The cities here are made the exact same way. There isn't many of them, but they are part of the whole location and load with it, so there are no changes while entering them. The cities here are done pretty well. The houses do look like houses and people do look like people. Everyone is doing around something, mopping the floor, smoking, dancing, eating, shitting. Almost every NPC has its own history and has something to talk about with you and ask you questions. Many of them can give you quests. Elder Scrolls has this system as well, however it only really appeared in Skyrim. Oblivion and Morrowind also had this, but very few NPCs could give you quests. Usually NPCs just walk around like lifeless logs and didn't serve any purpose. You can kill almost any NPC and it's almost guaranteed that it will affect your future gameplay. Many quests may become broken, or in the best case you'll just have to pay a large sum as a fine. The game is split into 5 chapters. It has a lot of quests and they're quite interesting. Most of them are not of the come here, kill him, go there, bring me that type, but require you to have dialogue with the NPC or investigation. By the way, all the dialogues in this game are voice-overed, while Morrowind has only about 100 lines in the whole game voice-overed. How can you be so fucking stupid to make a game with so many quests and you're forced to read through all of them? Any voiceover is better than nothing. It's great if the developers themselves voiced over the game, even with faggot voices. Even if one single faggot voiced over the game, it would be better than nothing. For me, the absence of voiceover destroys the personalities of NPCs. It's very hard to understand their attitude towards you and what intonation they use while speaking to you. To be honest, with this Russian shit-stain translation I'm playing with, it's almost as bad as no voiceover. The game has various guilds and factions which you can join in order to receive many useful things. The three most prominent factions you can join are paladins, mages, and mercenaries. Playing for one of them strongly affects the outcome of the game. Your commanders become different people. You have new friends and new enemies, different armor and different weapons. Also your save houses, if you can call them that, will be in different locations. The game includes interaction with the world, so you don't just run through corridors singing your sword, but you can also pick up things on the ground, plants, pull levers, open doors, etc. The game also allows climbing on various objects and jumping. If I remember correctly, the game has three possible professions: blacksmithing, skinning, and alchemy. With blacksmithing you can make exclusive swords which you can't get any other way using the ore that you'll find or dig out. Skinning obviously allows you to skin animals and sell the skins for a pretty large sum. Alchemy kind of speaks for itself, so you have to go around collecting plants and mix them into potions to use for health or mana regeneration or improving of whatever. Probably the biggest disadvantage of the game is that the mobs don't respawn. So say you killed all the mobs in one location, they will never spawn again. Only very few will, as you will enter the new chapter in the storyline, and usually they will be new, stronger monsters and not the same ones. I believe that the game has quite a variety of monsters, about 30 types. Every one of them has its own model and its own sounds. Every one of them has its special ability and a way to kill them. I have to warn you, the game crashes about once an hour and there are no autosaves, so it's best to save about once every 10 minutes. Well, that's about it. If you haven't played the game, I suggest you play it. If you have, then play it once again.